As if coronavirus wasn't enough for us in Spain, the gods have also decided we need winter. It's been lovely up until now. The last few days have been dreadful. Still, gotta keep fit, gotta do exercise even in quarantine. You know what, it's even raining. And welcome to the Mar Menor. Well, it's been a dramatic few days for the whole world, really, with coronavirus dominating all our lives. We're self-isolating here on Fair Isle, and we're in touch with family and friends who are doing the same in their own homes.
Yeah, actually, I mean, I think we're lucky at the most in that we're used to it, and it's part of the job description of a sailor to spend long periods in a small space. So this has been our week. I hope you enjoy the film.
Coming up, rain and more rain. Winter weather adds to the pressure of lockdown. We break out for a trip to a deserted island. Just us and the seagulls. But we begin the week with a problem. How are we going to cook?
We still haven't got gas, so I have got the barbie out running here. I've got my heavy duty wind gag on, but I'll tuck it in there and try and go outside. You might still be able to hear me, hopefully. I'll cover it up a little bit, but it is still blowing pretty bad out here. It's probably about 30 knots now. We had 45 knots last night, but we're pretty sheltered. We've got a good position. Bridle's straining away there, so it's not ideal. And I do have a problem, the anchor chain. I won't go into that now, but we're going to be doing a special on anchor chain. I'm going to have to change mine pretty soon. That's all underway. But yeah, we've just got to sit it out, really. It'd be nicer if the sun comes out and the wind stops a bit. Then it would actually be quite pleasant out here.
Our main aim was to cook enough so we didn't have to do this every day. Barbecues, wind and a wooden boat. Not a great combination. Wow, that is really working. I have to admit I wasn't sure this is going to work out, but actually that's bubbly going, ooh, nicely. So, I mean, this is enough for a week. I think I overdid the vegetables.
You've cooked for a whole marina. We can't give this to anyone. We can't go in.
I wasn't sure if it was going to work, and I wasn't sure, well, how often we're going to be able to do this, because it is really windy. I mean, it's just about protected here, but out here, look.
It is a point, actually, because we want to at some stage get a barbecue on the stern rail, don't we? But in fact, in this, you couldn't use it. I couldn't light it. I had difficulty lighting it here. But
this is great. I mean, this is a really good plan. Well done.
It's a bit precarious. And we shouldn't really do a wide shot because we're sitting here in their pyjamas. I think half the world's in their pyjamas at the moment, though, so I think we'll get away with it.
Yes.
The oven gloves weren't as fireproof as you might expect.
Oh my goodness.
Blown to pieces out here. Lovely, well done.
Yeah.
Managed it.
It's hot.
So we've got another, potentially, well, almost 2 weeks of this, 10 days of this.
Yeah, we'll be fine by then. We'll have got this working properly. Look, now we've found this, that will stop things burning, I think.
Yeah, just dismantle the oven and take the bottom out of the oven. That was a stroke of genius. Well done.
And when the wind drops,
well, when the wind drops, it will be much more pleasant. But then, yeah, we've got to make our escape plan as soon as they get the bridge open. Got to decide where and when we can go.
Well, we'll see what the rules are when we finish and what the results are of the lockdown. I hope it's been successful. That's the thing.
Yeah. Well, the wind is howling again. We have to get rid of those coals before they burn down and blow everywhere.
Exactly.
And we'll have this and then I'll do that.
Okay. The thing with sailing is that it's always good to have a plan, several plans, and to stay optimistic.
Yes.
At this point in the week, we hoped the 16-day shutdown would be enough to help Spain and the rest of the world begin to contain the virus. So time to look ahead and consider options.
Basically, our route would have taken us through, you know, all the Balearics, which are Spanish, but then Italian and French islands, Corsica and Sardinia, Italy, Malta, Albania, Montenegro, Croatia, Slovenia, and up to Venice. That's a lot of countries.
It is. Well, if things get to the point where we can stay in Spain, at least we can sail around.
Yeah, I mean, obviously at the moment we can't even sail within Spain, but I would have thought the first thing that would happen they would say within the country's okay. If that extends to the Balearics, then we can cruise Ibiza, Mallorca, Menorca, which is great. I mean, you know, we can, you know, spend time there. I mean, I don't know how that's going to be, because I mean, the problem, obviously, the reason we wanted to go through these islands quite quickly and out before the summer is that they get really expensive to try and go into any marinas there, and they get very packed. God knows what it's going to be like this year. Who knows?
And if we can't land, how long would it take us to actually sail?
Well, if we still wanted to get to Venice, if we thought we could get to Venice and we just sailed, well, you know, you could do it in a month if you just sailed. I mean, the problem with that is that, you know, if people think of the Mediterranean as being this sort of benign pond of a place, I mean, it's a big sea and you get big winds through. You've got the Mistral and the Tramontana that come down through here. You've got the Bora that's up the top here. You've got the Scirocco winds that can come up from the south. You know, it can be a dangerous place.
Well, if it comes to it then, and everything gets closed down, we could turn around and go back to Gibraltar, which is British territory. So if it is a matter of everyone go back to where their passports came from. Yeah, obviously, we could do that. Yeah, we've got Gibraltar here. That's a good bet for us. I mean, if that happened, of course, all the Brits around here would be heading for Gibraltar. Yeah. It's, you know, it's packed at the best of times, so that would be a bit tricky. But yeah, if we could passage through Gibraltar, I don't know, if things are better the other side of the Atlantic, we can go through there and then just cross the Atlantic, get to the Caribbean, or go down to Africa. Well, yeah, because you really wouldn't want to do it in one hit from there. Normally you'd go down to the Canary Islands and then go across from the Canary Islands, but Canary Islands is Spanish. If the Spanish is if it's still locked down, then you couldn't do that. So yeah, we could go down to the Gambia or Senegal. And go from there. Yeah, it's a possibility. Also, what the Cape Verdes, what the situation there is as well. So yeah, it's difficult, isn't it? I mean, who knows? You can't second guess these things. So it's morning time. Still locked down at anchor. I don't know how many days it's been now. They all sort of merge into one. Really, it's a little bit boring, but we'll take you through a little bit of the sort of morning routine we have here. It's been awful weather outside. It's been blowing a gale. Hasn't been sunny either, which means that we haven't got anything out of the solar, so energy's an issue. So first thing we do in the morning is give the batteries a boost. You can see we've gone down to 54% there. And 54% is about as low as I want to get lead acid batteries, all these sorts of batteries. If you go below 50%, you're going to start damaging them. So definitely it needs a good charge now, and that needs either mains, which obviously we can't get out here, or the generator or the engine. It's not a good idea to run the engine. It's not good for the engine to do that. Luckily we've got the Jenny, so that's what we're going to do. The controls are here. I'll put the engine room lights on and we'll go in first. So it is a bit of a reach across to get to the seacock here. Let's turn that on. I do turn the seacock off every time because there has been issues with our generator with water coming back up the exhaust pipe and causing some corrosion in the top. So the generator is just all kept in there, all night, quite nice and quiet, works well. The next thing I have to do is just turn the batteries back round so I'm charging all of them. And then we can come out and hit the button, which is just here. So that's it, that'll slowly build up. I'll get about 90 amps out of the generator,
And I mean, that's good because it'll take an hour, hour and a half to get the batteries up to about 80%, which is what I want. There's no point in going beyond that because the internal resistance of the battery means that it charges really slowly. That's where you want the solar to kick in, but unfortunately at the moment it's just grey and dismal and we're not getting much out of the solar, which is why we're sort of running down a bit. I mean, we use a lot of electrics on board. We've got a lot of computers and things. So that's one thing I'll do now. While the generator's on, I'll make sure everything's plugged in and we get everything charged. May as well get some hot water as well. We've got the generator running. That's a mains immersion, so that'll give us nice hot water.
Just as well, because outside the weather was just getting worse. Once the rain stopped, Steve decided to take action on getting gas.
Well, I think I'm going to take all the regulators we own with us. We've got quite a few now. Why people can't have the same standard across the world for gas and make life easier? We make life easier for everyone, surely, because they can just make the same ones everywhere. But if you remember, when we came from Holland, we had that regulator, and that was no good when we got to England. It was a different bottle. Here they've got, I know I'm going to go to a petrol station and they do bottles like this, I think of butane, not of propane. And they're big ones. They're too big to go in here, which is why we haven't bothered buying them before, but that's the least of our worries now. So if I can get one of those bottles, as long as I've got a regulator that fits, because no shop will be open to sell regulators, it's just the garage that hopefully will be open and selling gas bottles. Hopefully one of these will do it. If it doesn't, I do have a pack of connectors that I bought before we came out, different gas fittings. So hopefully, amongst all that lot, we'll get something that works.
So are you worried?
No, it'll all be fine. Don't panic.
Okay.
Okay, wish me luck.
Okay, good luck. Get some bananas.
Bananas, okay.
We need bananas.
Bye.
And gas. The reason I stayed behind is that by this stage in the lockdown, only one person per family is allowed into shops. A sensible measure.
So everything here is obviously closed. There's a few cars on the streets now, and just up ahead is the garage. It's a Repsol garage. They normally do gas. I just hope they're open. Aha, that's gas. It's an odd looking bottle. Yeah, I just don't think that's going to have the same connector. I have a picture of the one I want. I can't see them in the cage. Well, that's not good news. Lots of cans of gas, not the right ones, not the right fittings. Don't sell the regulators. That's at the Ferreteria. It's the hardware shop, which obviously is closed. So, plan B. So Judy is going to be disappointed. We did get some shopping though, some vital supplies. So that's one thing, but yeah, I think we're probably going to have to sail now over to the other side of the Mar Menor and drop our bottle off with Tim, one of our friends who lives over that way, and hope that he can get to the marina and swap it out. There's someone that's kindly offered to give us one of their full bottles in return for our empty one. That's probably the only way we're going to get gas at the moment.
Okay.
Here we go.
You got food then?
Got food, sadly no gas.
Oh.
Well, they had gas, but just not with the connector that we need, and yeah, there's no way of doing that. There's no way of connecting the two up, so sorry.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Shop wasn't quite as well stocked as it was the first time round.
Okay.
I did manage to get some bananas in the end. They brought some out, but there's no milk.
Okay. Oh, well, we have got some of that UHT.
Yeah, that'll do.
Okay. By now it was becoming clear we were likely to be here for some time, and the deserted islands were looking very inviting. So, seagulls permitting, we decided to go for a walk to keep our spirits up.
I'll jump in. There's some sort of foam that's coming through as well. I mean, it's been one of those things. We had this virus start, and almost immediately bad weather started, wind and rain. Now we've got this foam. We're waiting for the plague of locusts, but it doesn't all seem to be coming at once.
You are.
Let's get on anyway. At least we can get out.
We'll be fine. I keep saying there's worse places we could be.
The trip we're trying to do is the island over there, which is uninhabited, and we figure if it's an uninhabited island there can't really be too much problem with us going and having a little walk.
Well, that's a theory. Let's go.
Let's see, let's untie it. We've escaped from the boat just for a quick walk, dinghied over to here, which is a deserted island, so no people on it. The only place that we can actually both walk. So
yeah, no people at all. It's nice.
Yeah.
It's very quiet. It's lovely, and the sun's come out for the first time in, I don't know, about 10 days, I think.
Yeah. I mean, it has sort of been
lovely.
pretty bad, isn't it, with the wind and the rain, and actually cold. It's strange.
Yeah.
All winter it's been fine, and now it gets rubbish. So I hope the seagulls aren't going to chase us off this time. The last time we came on one of these deserted islands, the seagulls chased us off. But they're going to have to share with us this time because we want to walk.
It's nice to be on solid ground.
Yeah.
Oh look, there's loads up there. It's really nice.
Yeah, and there's plants sort of start to come out. Actually, you can smell thyme, and there's a lot of wild thyme obviously around. Seagulls are guarding that bit.
I think we should just do a there and back.
Yeah.
Because I don't really want to annoy them. It's fine just being here. And then dinner.
Just lay them on, yeah?
I think so. It's hot enough.
You need some oil on it.
No, just do that and then get some like garlic butter and maybe some olive oil, and then we'll dip them in with the rice. Wow, it smells delicious. Wow, that is so cool. Yummy.
So I think we'll be dab hands with this by the time we finish. They've just extended it to Easter now.
Oh really? What was shut down?
Yeah, there was something on Murthia today, the website that gives you the information saying that's what they were saying. They want to extend it. I don't think they've got permission to do it yet, but the government have applied to extend it to Easter.
Okay. Well,
which means another 3 weeks in here. We've just finished a small tank of water, which is 300 and something, 226 litres.
In a week.
In a week, and we've got 630 from the large one.
Right.
It should last us 2 weeks. So we're a week short at the moment. So either it's
that was a bit burnt.
a shower once every 3 days, or it's
okay. Well, we can show. We have. I mean, a shower every other day is a bit luxurious, really. We could certainly cut down on that.
Yeah, I wonder if we had a water maker, how well it would survive in here with this pretty green water. I mean, it'd probably do it, but just clog up your filters quickly. I don't know enough about them really. I've got to start my water maker research now, I think.
The next day, our friend Tim calls to say he's bringing us some cooking gas, so we sail across the Mar Menor to meet him. It takes a couple of hours with a following wind. Go get gas.
Yep. Hot dinner tonight.
I think Steve's smile said it all. We are very grateful.
Hey Tim, good to see you.
How you doing?
Good, good. How are you? You are a lifesaver.
It's one of those.
That's brilliant. Yeah, that's
there's
all right,
mainly
connector.
vegetables in there because you probably
Brilliant.
know there's just a bit of bread and stuff like that. Oh, Greek yogurt.
Yeah. Oh, excellent.
So, and some potatoes. I don't know what to get really, but
No, no, that's perfect. That's perfect. Thank you, Tim.
There's a few more people about today. Strangely, I think there's sort of the ethos is changing slightly.
Yeah, ramping down a bit, is it?
Well, I don't know. I've not been stopped yet.
No? Oh, well.
And I've always had a reason.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
But I know La Manga, they are controlling because all these houses here, most of them, a lot of them are owned by people from Madrid, which is one of the hot spots, like I said to you. So, but at the moment, no, I've got to the supermarket.
Empty here, completely.
Going home to the channel because I'll say I'll come to the supermarket. I haven't got any shopping.
Yeah.
But there we are.
Oh, wow.
But I love to Judy, and
Yes,
I'll see you soon. Brilliant.
Yeah, we got the bottle. It's a smaller bottle than the one we had, but that's absolutely fine. That'll last us, I don't know, probably a month.
Perfect.
So that's it, we're done. And Tim's come up trumps as well with lots of lovely grub.
Well, he's phoned. He said he got stopped by the police going back to his car.
Did he?
But he just explained and all was well, so good.
And I want to say a really big thank you to Andy Bristow, who was the guy who lent us his gas bottle. There's always a really good community spirit amongst sailors, and we have to say here with the local community as well, who have offered support and offers of help throughout this.
Yes, we know we're going to be here for, well, at least another 14 days. The situation is getting worse here in Spain and worldwide. I think everyone we talk to has been affected one way or the other, losing jobs or, well, just in general. So do keep safe. Thank you for watching, and thank you to our patrons for sending us emails and messages and generally keeping our spirits up. Thank you very much.
And keep connected.